Beyond the Black Rims. I'm Mars Girl.
I'm Josh Knight the First.
And this is Season 7, Episode 3.
Or Episode 145 if you're counting.
We're still going. Somehow, they haven't taken us off the air yet.
That's right.
Like, that's a thing that they could do. Our green screen's kind of flapping in the breeze here.
It doesn't matter. The Dance Dance Revolution will be televised.
So thank you, as always, to the Patreon contributors over at patreon.com/MarsGirl who make this show and all kinds of other stuff I do possible. So thank you, as always, for that. You guys probably are aware we were not here last week, so sorry about that. But we did some pretty awesome stuff.
Admittedly, there was some pretty sweet stuff.
Some of the not sweet stuff involved a grand total of about 50 hours of driving.
That sucks.
That was a thing.
That absolutely sucks.
Literally 50 hours of driving, and okay, maybe more. No, it was 50.
Yeah, it was 50.
It's like 50 hours of driving, and but aside from that, we were out in the greater Los Angeles area, and one of the coolest things that I think is most relevant to our show, I guess, we have a friend who works over at Blizzard who gave us a tour of Blizzard over in Irvine. Blizzard has a branch actually in Austin, just an hour north of us, but it's not where they actually develop games. Like, they have a call center out in Austin.
Yes.
Blah.
But we got to be in studio at Blizzard, got a tour of the campus. It is a campus. It is very large and growing.
And they have volleyball course where a whole bunch of shirtless Blizzard employees were playing volleyball. Yeah. And they had a kendo team out there practicing.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool. That orc statue out in front is amazing.
See, that's the thing that pissed me off, because they had Diablo statues, they had World of Warcraft statues. I was looking forward, and
they had
our friend
StarCraft statues.
They were going to show us where... Our friend was going to show us where the Tracer statue was from Overwatch. They thought they knew where it was, and then when they turned the corner, they realized, oh yeah, they took it to Gamescom, so it's not here. I'm like,
it was really funny, because he's like, oh, you think this is cool? Take a look to your left. Oh, and it's just this empty wall.
It was this very comical thing of, he was so sure it was right over his left shoulder that he was there smiling, then he looks... Oh! And then he realizes they took it, and admittedly I was depressed too, because, I mean, yeah, I could have seen it for myself.
Yeah,
a little depressed. They don't have a gift shop.
Because why should they have a gift shop? They work there.
Because they're Blizzard.
But they work there. You guys don't understand. They have a ton of security there. We had to get clearance. You don't even understand.
Yeah, we did have to get clearance. But they should have that clearance protecting the gift shop.
There's not a gift shop. Just get over it. So we saw, the QA department, because that's where our friend works in QA.
Right.
And they have food trucks. Apparently...
Sweet food trucks.
Well, apparently they're supposed to have a cafeteria, but that cafeteria is in the process of being rebuilt.
It was possessed by the Horde.
Thus, food trucks. And all I really wanted was news about Lost Vikings. I couldn't get him to give me any information about Lost Vikings.
All I wanted to do was find out, okay, Overwatch, when are we getting Sombra? I couldn't do... They wouldn't let us into the Overwatch team's room. We saw the door. That was something, but we knew on the other side people were very hard at work on that, so I was like, that close. But I thought the best thing to do that day was not pick up a felony, so we didn't do that.
Yeah. Also, just so you guys are aware, there is a really big room in there where apparently they watch people's live streams of Blizzard games.
Yes,
so
it's like mission control at NASA.
Yeah, there's a big old mission control room, and they're just watching people play Overwatch. And I was like, I wonder if there's a reason for that. And he's like, well, there might be a reason for that, or they might just be bored. They just want to watch somebody play Overwatch. So, I mean, I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So there were all kinds of interesting things to be seen there, but we did all kinds of other things out in LA, but I feel like that was the most relevant.
And then we saw some stuff that we can't talk about yet, because the person said we can't talk about it, but it was some really cool animated stuff. Just know it was
Oh
really cool.
yeah,
That thing we can't talk about.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing.
It
We know animators.
We know animators out there,
So-
and they are doing very awesome things.
Yeah, when everybody else gets to see it, then we'll say,
talk about it.
we'll say, hey, we saw that.
But
thing.
that's the first time we've actually gotten to say, hey, we saw some, but we can't say crap.
Yeah.
And then,
Not for Blizzard. Not for
this
Blizzard.
wasn't for Blizzard. This is for a different company of animation
Yeah.
that works out
animation
in
specific.
the LA area. Yes.
Yes. Okay. We better not talk about that
Yeah.
anymore. Yeah.
And then, normally we would cover stuff like this in the follow-ups, but it's not exactly the nerdiest thing, but I did want to bring it up a little bit. Big ups, rest in peace to Gene Wilder. Like
a lot of people were coming into my stream that day that we learned about the passing of Gene Wilder. So I think that's fair to talk about for a second because I think he's just touched so many people's lives, and that includes nerds alike.
Oh yeah,
So,
because the thing about it, you take the nerdiness of his character in Young Frankenstein, probably the nerdiest I've seen Victor Frankenstein played, because, I mean, yeah, you've got the new one with James McAvoy, yeah, you've got Empire of Corpses, whatever, but that one really captured the thing he brought to every role, which was the madness underneath the surface, and it came out so brilliantly. Like, we were talking about this the other night at dinner, when he finally accepts who he is. No, my name is Frankenstein! Because he's gone the whole movie pushing, no, it's pronounced Frankenstein.
yeah.
But no, like, he was... Like, I know everybody grows up with Willy Wonka, and I'm not shorting that, but learning about the Mel Brooks movies in high school, like, I downed so many of them thanks to my high school theater teacher, and, like, he was a good point of understanding what humor was in high school for me. Watching all those movies, Blazing Saddles, of course, Young Frankenstein, Stir Crazy, but of course, he... unfortunately, had complications from Alzheimer's.
But he lived such a full life.
But he did have a full life.
Yeah. So, it's sad. I've said this so many times about people we've lost recently. Thank God we had them, and they had
Absolutely.
such a full life to give us so
can't
many
forget
great
the producers.
memories. Yeah, and the producers, not musical producers.
Yes, original producers.
Yeah. So I'm glad we got to talk about that, and I'm part sad and just part grateful that he was part of all of our lives too.
Yes.
I think with all that having been said, we can talk about what our major news stories are going to be.
Because we got a
this
full
week.
show tonight. We absolutely do.
It kind of just fell into our laps this week, I feel like. They were all
The lucky
really,
week.
really big deal kind of news stories. So, first of all, earlier today was the Nintendo Direct that was 100% entirely about 3DS stuff. And we'll go
Yes.
ahead and talk about all the news coming out of Nintendo today.
Yes, and our second story, a lot of people have been talking about this for the last at least 24 hours since it's been hitting a lot of people. This new policy that YouTube has with ad-friendly videos, which is affecting a lot of people, a lot of videos getting taken down. We're going to talk to you guys about how that's going to be affecting people in the long run and what we can expect to see as far as backlash goes to this new policy.
And then finally, we've talked about this before, but now Kamen Rider X-Aid, the next within the Kamen Rider franchise coming up this October, this new merging of doctor theme and video game themed hero. They had a press conference and they have released a nearly 3-minute trailer.
Yeah,
for the
I was
beginning
surprised
of
we
the
got that
franchise.
much footage.
Yeah, it was almost 3 minutes long. Kind of insane. So we'll be talking to you guys about that and what we're looking forward to seeing out of that.
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm sure we got follow-ups, right?
You know
Because
we
we
got
got
follow-ups.
like 2 weeks worth of follow-ups now.
Really, there was enough this week, so I'm just covering mainly this week,
Okay.
thankfully.
Uh-huh.
If we went into last week, I should say, we'd be here for another 15 minutes,
Yeah.
and we don't want to do that. So let's go ahead and get right into it. First off, starting with the WB news. Surprising news coming out of the Justice League camp. Ben Affleck let loose 2 major interesting
So then I'll
points.
just put that picture up. For
Yeah,
for
full-blown Justice League. Action for you.
I just have that now on hand.
Yeah,
whenever
because we're
we
talking
talk
about Justice League. So we were already aware of the fact that Steppenwolf is the primary antagonist in the upcoming WB Justice League movie. But then we found out, thanks to Batman himself, Ben Affleck, that there's another villain to be had in the form of Slade Wilson, aka Deathstroke, who we saw a little snippet of a movie, and we've got a picture of him there looking very much like his Arkham Origin appearance.
Which I think is fine.
Yeah, that's
It's
absolutely
totally cool.
fine. Kind of putting the costume of the Arrow version of the character to shame a bit. Not only, he revealed, is Deathstroke going to appear in Justice League, he is also the primary antagonist for the upcoming solo Batman movie.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm totally down with that. No word yet on who is playing the character, just confirming that he is there.
Has he been portrayed in live-action format before?
Yes, by Manu Bennett over on Arrow.
On Arrow, okay.
Yes.
But not in coordination with Batman.
No, not live action in coordination with Batman. This will be the first time for that.
So this will be interesting. I'm interested. I'm legit interested.
Now, I'm just saying, if the crux of the movie is how cheap the fight with him is, like in Arkham Origins, I'm gonna walk out of that movie because that made me put down Arkham Origins for like 8 months.
You never picked it back up. You watched the end on YouTube.
Yeah, it took me 8 months to watch the end on YouTube. That's what I meant.
Okay.
Admittedly, I wasn't missing much. I really wasn't.
What else is there, Josh?
Okay, moving over to some other things. Over on Supergirl on CW, they have confirmed that this season will see actor Frederick Schmidt playing the role of Metallo. Metallo, of course, the character of John Corbin, is mortally wounded and then usually gets kind of cyborgified by either an evil organization or Lex Luthor, who owns an evil organization. In this case, it's just the evil organization, who becomes a kryptonite-powered cyborg. So that will happen. Of course, he will be facing off against both Supergirl and Superman this season, so stay tuned for that.
All right.
Moving on to some Marvel news. Okay, so since tomorrow, Captain America Civil War will be released digitally, a few extras were released just this week. The funniest one being the small clip, which was presented back at San Diego Comic-Con, of what Thor was doing during the events of Civil War.
I still haven't watched it, I just know that it's out there.
Where apparently he was just chilling in Australia, just holding it down with some guy out there. He got a roommate. He's making one of those giant, like, Homeland string web things, trying to figure out who Thanos is. He did briefly meet up with Bruce Banner, who took the phone call for him, saying, "Oh, sorry, Tony can't get a hold of you." And he says, "I don't have a phone. Send a raven." Because that's Thor. He doesn't understand normal technology. It was kind of funny.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
And then over on the Spider-Man Homecoming end of things, they have confirmed today that actor-director Jon Favreau will be reprising his role as Happy Hogan in Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
More than likely he'll be driving Tony around again, which is very good in my book. You know, he's the guy who helped start the Marvel Cinematic Universe with Iron Man 1 and 2, so it's good to see him still rooted there, showing this is, in fact, a connected universe.
Yeah, for sure.
So absolutely looking forward to that. Okay, this is the news we were waiting for a while to report. The thing about it is, first I have to start off with, it's being brought over here now as Godzilla Resurgence. Shin Godzilla.
Yeah, so I guess they ditched that early report.
Well, no, apparently it is being referred to as Godzilla Resurgence in, like, the Philippines.
But why?
I don't know, but over here...
The Philippines are usually so good about, like, accuracy in their localizations. That doesn't make sense to... You know, whatever.
Yes,
whatever.
But we are getting it here in American theaters. You can go ahead and head over to Fandango right now to pick up those tickets that... We'll be going very fast right now. The showings are going to be in mid-October, and thankfully we looked into it. We got a special guest to try and talk to us tonight. Flew in all the way from Japan. Let's hear it for him.
No, Josh.
Shin Godzilla himself. Let's get him out here.
No, Josh.
All right, Shin Godzilla, everybody. There he is.
You can kind of see a little bit through his head. It's because he was originally a piñata who was green. So imagine, if you will, kind of bright green is kind of sticking out in spots from behind this black and red ugly repaint that you... Really, that kind of looks like him.
Yeah, he pretty much looks like him. So, Mr. Godzilla, if I can call you that, are you happy that your movie is finally making it stateside?
Oh my God.
Have you been reading any of the reviews yet? Do you have anything else to say? Okay, great, thanks. Thanks for stopping by.
Oh my God.
Okay, great.
Are you? You've been waiting for? It's been like a month Since
it's been 3 weeks.
You got that pinata head, and this is what you were waiting for. That's how you planned on using it.
Yes. Shout out to my second cousin for having a birthday for that.
For being 1 year old.
For being 1 year old.
And getting a pinata at 1 year. Okay, we're getting way off topic.
Okay, let's move on. Okay, so moving over to some TV news with Star Trek Discovery. So we've got a lot of new news about this upcoming CBS series. First and foremost, the main character is a female lieutenant who we will apparently not know the name of until the last episode of Season 1. Primarily, she will be referred to as Number 1. So that's an interesting thing there.
She's totally going to be somebody that we already know. And then they're going to say her name on the last episode, and you're going to be like, oh, this was all her backstory! I don't know if it'll be like Janeway... Or Velvet. Well, I don't know when it takes place.
They did confirm that. This is taking place in the Kirk Prime universe, not the Kirk Kelvin movie universe.
Oh, okay, so it's way too early for Captain Janeway. All right.
Right. So we do know that. They're also confirming it's going to be a very short order of episodes, not 26, less than that, closer to 10, because they want to tell a very tight-knit story.
You know what? I'm totally down with that. I'm way okay with that, because America typically doesn't know how to do that.
Yes. They've also confirmed that they're going to be painting a bigger picture of Starfleet with more aliens than you would expect on a television show, and they are confirming at least one gay character.
Okay, that's good.
Which is more in keeping, like was spoken of recently from George Takei, hoping that Gene Roddenberry's original words to him, we will eventually have that one character like that, and not have to rewrite how a character already is. So they're bringing that in closer to the original storyline, since this takes place right before Kirk becomes captain.
Okay.
So very much looking forward to more news on that. Over on the Power Rangers reboot end of things, we've got a new look out of a Brazilian magazine at the suits for this upcoming reboot coming out next March.
Still don't like it.
You're looking at these suits here straight on, and I feel nothing.
Well, I feel like I don't like them, but you're right, I have no, emotional attachment to them in such a way that makes me go, oh man, I can't wait to see this and see this thing live out my dreams of it being a semi-tolerable, decent movie of Power Rangers. No, I don't see Power Rangers there. I do see multiple colors.
I see something trying to be Power Rangers, but I don't understand why the purple on the chest. I really don't.
Yeah.
That's not even a color with them.
I'm not feeling that.
I'm not feeling either. Get out of here.
Why are we even talking about it?
We'll talk about something else. Okay, so over on the Japanese end of things with the Full Metal Alchemist live-action movie. So the author of Full Metal Alchemist stopped by just before filming ended. It's still going on for just a little bit longer, to say hi to the cast and crew, basically give their blessing. And they made a little sketch of Edward and Alphonse for them to give to the director. They seem to be very happy with what they've seen so far. So far, we haven't gotten any official pictures yet. We just had that one picture of Edward Elric there. But hopefully we'll be getting more about that, more news out of that, more pictures, even a trailer, since they are confirming that they are close to the end of filming. So definitely looking forward to hearing more out of that.
All right.
Okay, something I brought up briefly, but I'll bring it up again. It was found this week that Microsoft's Japanese Kingdom Hearts 3 page is no longer there.
I don't even know how to respond to that. And the reason why I don't know how to respond to that is because, what does that even indicate? We already know Kingdom Hearts 3 has taken forever. We knew there had to be a Kingdom Hearts 3 after Kingdom Hearts 2, but they didn't get to producing it right away. So it's been in production for years. It has not been in production for 10 years, but it has been 10 years since Kingdom Hearts 2.
Right.
And we haven't seen hardly anything. People get excited every time they see a little clip of Kingdom Hearts 3, and I'm just like, that they're just feeding you the bare minimum of what they've already produced, right? And they just say, now in development, now in development, now in development. They don't say a quarter, they don't say a year. And them pulling their Microsoft website, like, I legitimately want Kingdom Hearts 3 to come out. Like, I thrive on, like, getting my kicks off of making fun of Square Enix, but at the same time, I do that because I don't know what else I would do, because I would cry or something. Because I actually want to play these games, but they're breaking my heart.
Yes.
And so I have to laugh at them when I'm just like, it's not coming, is it?
No, it's not, probably not coming.
It's not coming. I'm telling you guys, this is ridiculous.
Yes.
I have to laugh to keep from crying. This is
okay, let's talk about some other game
ludicrous.
news. Okay, so earlier this week, Blizzard released their Legion expansion for World of Warcraft. Unfortunately, that was met almost immediately with
a
DDoS attack.
Yeah.
Both it and Overwatch have been having a lot of trouble over the last few days with playability. I've been wanting to get on and get my frustrations out from the workday by taking it out on other people at Volskaya Industries or Kings Row in Overwatch, but I can't because somebody took down the friggin' server.
Well, you can now. The servers are mostly alright again.
Well, yeah, of course they'd be alright while we're doing a show.
Yeah.
That's friggin' great.
Uh-huh.
But yes, word of warning to anybody trying to play those games right now. Back to the Japanese end of things. So we've talked several times about Japanese pseudo artist Miku Hatsune, who now apparently is promoting hair care products. Here you can see her new look with straightened hair and not her traditional pigtails. She's in a new commercial over in Japan right now featuring Scarlett Johansson, telling her to basically like chase her dreams or some crap, I don't know.
Yeah, because that has everything to do with hair care products, right?
Right. But yes, now she's selling a straightening shampoo, which admittedly I would
her
actually
hair is
try.
already straight. It's just in pigtails.
Yeah, but now it's straight down.
Or they call them twin tails in Japan.
Yes, great.
I had to make that distinction. She's
okay,
Japanese. So.
Alright, but that's a thing now. Miku selling hair care products. No word yet on when her Burger King tie-in is going to happen.
I want to see her partner up with Lightning from Final Fantasy XIII, since, you know, these fictional 3D model characters are now able to sell real-world products, I guess. So, when are they going to team up together to start selling a line of jewelry? Like...
It'll happen.
Yeah,
just wait.
I'm just wondering.
Okay, on the positive end of things with Pacific Rim 2, we've got word that later this month they will begin production in Australia. Still waiting to see something, a script, a costume, anything. I really could use some more Pacific Rim 2 news. Please give it to me. Now. Thank you very much.
I wish.
And then the last bit of things, we're talking about Kamen Rider X8 later tonight, but also we have news this week that a new game has been announced that you can see kind of the cover here, Kamen Rider All Rider Revolution, which is a sequel to All Rider Generations 1 and 2, which were previously released for the DS and PSP respectively. This one will be coming out on the 3DS, so you'll need a Japanese 3DS to go ahead and play it.
Or you'll need to mod the hell out of your 3DS.
Which means I will either have to break my 2DS or get a Japanese 3DS.
It would be better to get a Japanese 3DS.
I'm going to have to add one to my Amazon wishlist.
Yes.
I want to play that game.
Yeah.
Because it will be a side-scrolling beat-em-up, much like X8 series, with a very large roster of every single main rider from Ichigo to X8, with 3 open slots still to be determined. That is also including Kamen Riders Amazon Alpha and Omega from Kamen Riders Amazons. They are playable in this game.
And Nadeshiko, and like all these random extra characters that you wouldn't imagine would be playable. Yeah, they're gonna be there. I mean, it's not the greatest looking graphically game, but, you know, side-scroller, what can you do?
Whatever, I have tons of fun with the first 2.
Okay, bye.
Alright, I'm done.
That's going away.
Yeah.
So, was that it for follow-ups and junk? So, okay.
Let's get to Nintendo Direct.
Yeah. Oh, man, you're casting so much shadow on this green screen right now. Oh, my God.
I'm sorry.
And fan is blowing it, and so you're soon...
Don't draw attention to it, just go.
Okay, yeah, Nintendo Direct happened way earlier in the morning and stuff, and this was entirely based on information about 3DS titles. What was funny, oh man, I should have shown you some of this footage before.
You probably should have.
Because, you know, Reggie is... trying to do skits like he often does. He's trying to be nice, he's trying to be fun, he's trying to be funny. But then what he's also trying to do is say, I can't find so-and-so, and I can't find my new 3DS that has all of space on it. And I'm so angry right now. I need to get them so I can talk about the 2017 lineup of 3DS titles. And like he starts getting really mad at his assistant who's standing next to him, and actually as he's starting to get mad and raise his voice, that sounds like the real Reggie. He sounded real there, and it kind
real
of...
angry?
Yes, it kind of frightened me. Like, that came to him really naturally. It was really disturbing to me. So, yeah.
Well, you think somebody can really be that chill at every single press conference and not have that anger, that madness underneath the surface?
He's got to be a bitter, angry man that we just don't know about.
He probably gets paid less than Waluigi.
Oh, no.
Wouldn't you be mad, too?
Oh, that just makes me really sad. Now I feel sorry for him.
Don't. Waluigi's got a great check.
Oh, well, alright.
If you look at it that way.
Well, in any case, so there was more talk about Pokemon Sun and Moon. Not too much, just a little bit. They talked about high-powered Z moves, and they talked about a Munchlax, who had a really awesome-looking Z move. He was, like, really scary-looking, and his eyes lit up, and he's like, and then there's this attack. So that's really the biggest thing that everybody is. It's called Pulverizing Pancake. That's his... That's the biggest thing to come out about Pokemon Sun and Moon. In that entire press conference.
The other thing that came out of that was apparently Super Mario Maker is coming to the Nintendo 3DS, to which many people said, why?
Well, I don't know. I think that's kind of cool. They're porting most of the entirety of the Wii U's library of people's home-built Mario Maker levels. Apparently some of them will not be compatible, but most of them will be, and now you can go and take it on the go. So, I mean, I don't know, that cool.
That just never struck me as a game you really had to play on the go, or, like, that anybody really had the desire. Like, you go home to play Super Mario Maker. You don't take Super Mario Maker with you.
That's you.
Admittedly, yes.
Yes, that is you. There are plenty of people who would want to take that with them. Thank you very much. So that's really the majority of what that was. There's some new game coming out that they only had Japanese footage of it, of Tank Troopers, which looks kind of cute. You're driving tanks, and you got cute little people teaming up to fire tanks and stuff. You can do it 4-player. Or single player, you know, whichever. It didn't look exciting, but it looked like cute tank warfare, as opposed to World of Tanks, which is like, rawr, we're driving tanks.
Yeah, but who wants cute tank warfare?
I don't know, children, Josh. Family, the 3DS is a family system.
It is,
okay?
It is. I gotta remind myself what I'm talking about here.
There's more Picross 3D. Yay! I'm not too psyched about Picross. Some people, however, will be very excited about new Legend of Zelda amiibos.
Which, admittedly, I really do kind of want the way you wanted your Mario
anniversary blocky one.
I kind of want the Link.
Yeah, there's now a blocky, pixely original 30th anniversary Link amiibo that's pretty cool. They've got Ocarina of Time Link, and together in a paired set there's Toon Link and Toon Zelda from Wind Waker, and they look cute, but you can only get them together. And this is all kind of a 30th anniversary Legend of Zelda thing going on.
That's fine. I'm just waiting for them to release the solid gold version of all of those, because it's Zelda.
Similarly, within the line of Legend of Zelda, they also announced that Skyward Sword today hit Wii U Virtual Console, so yay, that's another way of playing it. To go kind of backwards a bit, they're talking more about Dragon Quest 8 on 3DS. You might remember it was originally on PS2. It's been delayed a little bit in the next year, but it's still coming. And Dragon Quest 7 is coming out this fall on 3DS. It's a complete remake from the ground up. It had originally come out on PS1. And it was cool at the time, but it looks really, really pretty right now on 3DS.
See, something like that, it could have used the polish.
It needed the polish, yeah.
I'm happy that they're doing that. I wish Dragon Quest would catch on more over here. I really do.
I do too. I'm thinking of doing a stream and powering through as many Dragon Quest games as I can. I think that would be
fun.
Good.
I think that would be good.
Fun. The first game would be a very difficult grind. I've tried it a couple of times, and it's very grindy. But so was the very first Final Fantasy. But
this is true.
So Yoshi's Woolly World is coming to Nintendo 3DS, which is, some people would be like, yay. However, Poochie is getting a little adorable. You remember Yoshi got a woolly amiibo?
Yeah.
Poochie's got a woolly amiibo, and there's apparently little stop motion woolly animated things in the game now that have been done by a famed animation studio. I'm trying to remember which animation studio it was exactly. There's the picture of Poochie.
Alright, admittedly, Poochie looks adorable.
He's adorable. He looks absolutely adorable. The article doesn't say the name of the animation studio that's doing the little stop-motion clips throughout, but they looked really, really cute as Woolly Yoshi and Woolly Poochie are trying to, open up the top of a 3DS. It was really, really cute looking. Continuing onward, Ever Oasis is going to be another game through Nintendo directly, so we only saw Japanese footage. It's kind of a dungeon crawling, town visiting game, so that's an entirely new game title to be launched.
So new IP then.
Yeah, new IP. I didn't really quite grasp my attention all that much, I have to admit. Townsfolk will let you stay at their houses. I don't really know what the point of it is yet. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna need to wait and see more. And then one of the biggest things that was announced really near the end of the Nintendo Direct was a new Pikmin game is coming out. They're still developing the title of this Pikmin game, so right now it's just in development, known as Pikmin. It looks like it's side-scrolling Pikmin action, which kind of makes sense for a 3DS title, right. Yeah. So anyone who's already a fan of the Pikmin franchise, I'm sure that's going to make you guys really excited. I like Pikmin well enough, but I didn't get to spend a whole lot of time with Pikmin either. So, more Mario sports, because he does that every so often. What was kind of interesting, I don't actually see it here in this list right now, but they mentioned a new Mario Party for the 3DS, and typically I'd be like, oh boy, that means Nintendo's not doing so hot because they had to release another Mario Party. But one thing that made me really happy is they eliminated taking turns, and
thank God.
By that I mean everybody rolls the dice and you all just go. All at once. Rather, you've played the Mario parties with us at Mario Party parties, and it's just, oh my God,
Mario parties are digital Monopoly. It's how long does it take for you to hate the person next to you?
Yeah. So now you can hate them a little faster.
Okay.
You know? Right. So also this focuses largely on Toad for some reason. I don't know, because everybody loves Toad, right? That's the thing.
Just keep telling yourself that.
Oh, okay, never mind. And 3DS also, just today, after the Nintendo Direct, got Street Pass updates, whole bunch of new little mini games. Also, now, imagine this, you're at cons, you know how irritating it is to fill up with 10 people at your gate, and then you have to go
awful
back
at MagFest, because that's where it normally happens for me.
Yeah, and then you unload the 10 people at your gate, and then suddenly there's 10 more people at your gate. Now, 100 people can come in through your gate at a time.
Thank God, because I've been so sick. The thing is, I want to walk around at MagFest, I want to mingle, I want to be playing my games, but I have to keep looking down my 3DS every so often, or 2DS I should say, in my case, every so often, because my lobby gets full.
Yeah.
And I would like to be distracted a little longer before I have to check my lobby, instead of every 5 seconds being like... Hold the shoulder button. Yeah, alright. Nice to meet you. Okay, now I'm going back. Like, now finally I can put that off for a few more minutes.
Yeah.
Thank you, it's about friggin' time.
So that's largely the bulk of the Nintendo Direct. I don't think any of it was really, like, mind-blowing or anything. And some people were like, man, why didn't they tease the Nintendo NX?
They're saving it.
And this was all 3DS. Like, they said that.
Well, yeah, they said that because they're saving it. I mean, let's not kid ourselves here. They want to save all of that information to give us all in one giant meteor-sized shape that will come down and crush us all.
Shadow's getting worse. Scoot up. I can't stand it. Okay, it didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
All right.
Okay, so let's go on to our second story involving YouTube's new policy, which is getting a lot of people a little ticked.
Well, according to YouTube, they say this isn't a new policy. This is an old policy. So what exactly has been happening? Well, people are realizing suddenly that their monetization for certain videos has been disappearing, and they're just like, what? And they get these email notifications from YouTube, and they say things like, sorry, we don't think that this video is appropriate for our advertisers, and so we need to remove advertising from this video. And you're just like, well, okay, well, why? Because it's being pulled off of people's videos talking about world news, talking about depression, some people talking about their acne, and you're just like, why is this not appropriate for advertisers? Well, if we go and we look at what exactly YouTube is identifying as being inappropriate for their advertisers, it's like really super vague. So, some of the vaguest crap. I'm trying to bring that up right now. There's some of it makes sense. Some of it I get, like sexually suggestive content, including partial nudity and sexual humor, although the sexual humor is also...
That's kind of where I was going to be like, okay, that's kind of iffy why you would want to go after that. Then it goes on.
Violence, including display of serious injury and events related to violent extremism. Like,
Does that mean we can't watch any more Russian traffic videos?
Well, I don't... it's... They're not blocking the videos. You don't understand.
Oh, wait, you like the monetization.
It's right. Monetization. It's not blocking of the videos. So, violent extremism, like, I understand that. Like,
I somewhat understand that.
Yeah, to an extent, I understand that. Inappropriate language, including harassment, swearing, and vulgar language. I understand no harassment.
Right.
The swearing and vulgar language, though, like, how is that any different from television? You know, I don't... people put their advertisements on television, so I really don't get that. Promotion of drugs and regulated substances, including selling, use, and abuse of such items. Yeah, maybe don't promote, like, selling drugs on YouTube. Like, I get that, but then, like, if we're talking about weed, for example, in some states it's legal, and then in some states it's not. Again, it's, like, really vague, but where it really gets concerning is controversial or sensitive subjects and events, including subjects related to war, political conflicts, natural disasters, and tragedies, even if graphic imagery is not shown. So you can't even talk about it.
You can't even talk about prevalent stuff, because this is...
Even if we're not putting a picture up right here. But if I put this on YouTube, and YouTube's like, oh, advertisers aren't going to like this video, we're going to take your monetization away. There's nothing here. Your YouTube logo is right here. There's nothing, but if I were to talk about the Tohoku earthquakes a few years ago in Japan, like, I can't talk about an earthquake. Can I talk about Pompeii? Can I talk... What
well,
can't
see, that's
I
the
talk
thing. Like,
about?
New Zealand had one this morning. And the thing about it
Josh,
is...
don't talk about it. I can't put it on YouTube and make money off it.
See, that's the thing. Like, all of those things related to war, political conflicts, natural disasters, or tragedies, so life. I can't make videos about my life. Because, as far as I'm aware, those things surround me every day.
Now realize people are saying, "Oh, this is censorship," and you and I kind of differ on whether or not
I believe it is.
It is and it isn't, because it's totally within YouTube's terms of service that they can choose what is and isn't good for advertising revenue. What they're not doing is blocking you. You can totally still talk about it, but we can't make advertising revenue off of it.
But the thing I'm arguing for this is basically legalistic censorship, where they're not telling you don't post these videos. They're making it very easy for you to come to that conclusion on your own as a YouTube creator.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I'm not telling you not to load things with vulgar content or depressing subjects. I'm just going to make sure you really, really don't want to.
Yeah, like, I do see how it would influence a creator to be like, well, I guess I'll talk about puppies, kittens, and rainbows from now on.
Well, because the thing about it is, YouTube, which started free and is now starting to pay for certain services, basically the way this looks is YouTube trying to run themselves as a television network.
Mm-hmm.
You know, making this more safe for the advertisers, not the audience. Because
right.
YouTube's audience is everybody.
Yeah.
It's bigger and more far-reaching than a television network because anybody anywhere can watch it. Mm-hmm. All you need is an internet connection. That's it.
Yeah.
And you can watch YouTube. Anybody at any age can start watching YouTube. They've got educational things for kids on there, you know, so it's a young age. Older people are watching old movies on there. And in
My
the middle,
dad especially does that.
He loves that. And then in the middle, there's everybody else with the rest of human interaction, which leads to conflict, which leads to depressing things, which sometimes leads to political debate. We're in an election year, and you don't want us to talk about politics.
So people have noticed that advertising revenue has been removed off of some videos, and it's in some cases, it just sort of didn't seem like it made sense sometimes. And again, like, the person talking about their depression or their acne, like, that's really unreasonable. But then, come to find out, YouTube says, oh, well, these policies have been in place the whole time, guys. It's just that now we're notifying you when we're doing it. So, like, before you had to go into your own videos list, and then maybe you would see that it's either grayed out or yellowed out, where there used to be a green $sign where you were making advertising revenue, and then that green $sign's not there because they quietly removed the ad revenue. And now it's quote-unquote better because they're telling you when they're doing it now.
Because the thing about it is...
we're noticing that it's
Because
happening.
the thing about it is, that's not to say that the video is not making ad revenue. It is, it's just YouTube takes it.
Well, that is true sometimes. That sometimes it seems like ads continue to play on people's videos, but you're not the one receiving the money. YouTube's the one receiving the money. So you can still counterclaim it, just like you would with
a copyright strike?
with a copyright claim. Yeah, if Universal came along and was like, "This video is ours," then I can counter that and say, "No, it's mine," and then we would fight over it for up to 30 days. That's exactly what happens with this advertising revenue new issue now also.
But
you have to fight YouTube directly for it.
But that's the thing. With that, at least you could try and do it with fact. Like, factually, this video belongs to me. This person is lying about the claim. Here it's a matter of opinion. This video is mine.
YouTube's opinion, really.
Yeah, YouTube's opinion. You may have that video, but I don't like how that's making me, as YouTube, lose advertising revenue, so you're not going to get that money. In fact, in certain cases, I will.
So it just goes to show you where YouTube's priorities lie, and to an extent it makes sense. From a business perspective, it makes sense because they want to keep in good with their advertisers, and they want to get better advertisers, and they don't want to lose their advertisers who are like, well, I want to advertise with you, YouTube, but not when it's associated with all this bad stuff that I don't like. And so YouTube has to be like, alright, sorry guys, gotta take this down. But now they're being like way too...
Well, see, because that's the thing. If they're running their business like a television network, except they're more like a conglomerate, not a network, television networks only run certain ads on certain channels.
Yeah, that's true.
So if that was the thing, why aren't you just running certain ads with certain videos?
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to advertise, you know, Pampers and baby wipes with somebody, screaming death metal necessarily. That's not, those two things aren't correlated.
What it does for right now is because YouTube
as an example,
since YouTube is under the Google umbrella, is because you know that Google kind of takes the cookies of the things that you do on the internet and then applies it to the kind of advertising it thinks you want to see. And so the advertising is specific to you, the viewer, no matter what video you go to watch. So what you're suggesting is that maybe perhaps based on the category the person puts the video in,
then maybe perhaps
that should determine what kind of advertising it gets.
Because you think about it, if YouTube wants to be better at their business, you don't want to run your business like the business in Office Space, where the decision you made behind somebody's back. Like they say, that guy, he doesn't work here anymore. We actually fired him, but somehow he was still getting a check. So did you fire him? No, he's already fired. We just fixed the glitch. He's not getting paid anymore. So you're not going to tell him he's fired. He'll figure it out. That's exactly what this is. It's just like Office Space.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty crappy thing when that's accurate.
Yeah, I understand that. I do. That's
pretty much the long and short of it.
So that's where we're at right now. So the internet's been blowing up about it over the last 2 days. It's been happening to a lot of really big name people. I don't know that it's been happening to a lot of little named people, because I assume that YouTube's not even watching out for the little guy right now, because they're like, well, who cares? Nobody's watching it, so I don't care what the advertisers... I think they're only hitting relatively large people, but I'm really not sure. I have not been hit, and I have almost 8,000 subscribers at this point in time, and 8,000 just might not be a big enough number for them to care.
Well, for our sake, let's hope.
Yeah, I will certainly tell social media should they come and try and hit me with this stupid can't monetize that thing. Right. Yeah.
But we'll keep an eye on this as it develops.
Yes, I guess that's all for that for the time being. Thanks, YouTube, as always. Make me paranoid for my job all the time.
That they do. You jokes. Okay, moving on to our last story of the evening, which is again us covering Kamen Rider Ex-Aid, but this time we've got information from the press conference, which just happened yesterday, and we've got, as we mentioned at the top of the show, the full, almost 3-minute long trailer. This is a long trailer.
Yeah.
For this, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So we had the press conference for the series, which is premiering over in Japan on October 2nd.
I thought they were going to push it out to the end of the month, but it's okay. That's a lot sooner that's 1 month from now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, we now have our first look at the cast in their civilian forms. Our hero...
The brightest, ugliest doctor suits
that
I've ever
Doogie
seen.
Howser looking mofo.
And I know that here in San Antonio especially, we have all these really ugly scrubs. That you can go down to scrub shops and see the ugliest patterns on these scrubs. But I don't know, these guys are pretty loud and obnoxious doctor uniformed people.
Yes. So they have confirmed that Ex-Aid's name is a joining of the words extreme and aid. Some people guessed that. Some people guessed that.
Like I needed them to really spell it out for me. Maybe the Japanese needed it spelled out for them. I don't know.
Now, see, the thing about it here is, as you were discussing before, this is another series where they're blending two widely different things that don't seemingly go together, much like Kamen Rider Gaim, which combined fruit with the Sengoku period.
And dancing.
And also breakdancing.
That did not make any sense to me.
Because none of those three have anything to do with each other, unless you have Gen Utabochi writing. But here, we have video gaming and
like
medicine
surgeons.
And doctors.
And I'm just like, oh, you know what? One of those two things could have been really good on their own. Please do not add a third thing to this. But then the chick, what is the name of the leading chick? Character lady, ma'am. She's a nurse.
Yes, her character name is Kano Asuma, but she transforms into this like mascot Akihabara-looking girl called, and I always mess up this name as I've been trying to pronounce it this past week, Papo Popipipo.
No! And like you're gonna see her in a second when we play the stupid trailer. Oh my god. I mean, the trailer has good parts and bad parts in it, really, I feel. Oh yeah, stupid level 1 mascot. I don't like him.
Okay,
I
so
don't like
basically the
level
way
1
this
mascot.
works apparently is that Emu, the name of the main character, Emu, he's a doctor in training, basically. He transforms into Kamen Rider Ex-Aid because certain humans are going to be infected by what they call the Bug Star virus. The Bug Stars are the bad guys of the series. They are a computer game virus. So that's kind of a stretch there, trying to combine the two things of video gaming and doctoring.
I get the feeling that they were like, oh man, you know what's bad in computers and video games? Viruses. You know who fights viruses? Doctors. And they like, came to this stupid conclusion. You know what? I'm gonna start running with the trailer.
Yeah, let's go ahead and show the trailer real quick here.
I have to restart the trailer here because I didn't do that ahead of time. There we go.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and just comment on it as it rolls. Of course, this is an anniversary year for Kamen Rider, so they're trying to play that up a bit. Here we see Emu, our new hero. They're trying to play up the fact that he's a doctor really hard, but he doesn't seem to be a very good doctor.
Or if he is a good doctor, he's not good at much else.
Right. Well, except the one thing he is good at, which is gaming. Now you can see they've got this little almost Game & Watch type device that they're going to be playing the games on.
Game & Watch PSP looking thing, yeah.
And of course he's playing the game that he will use as his Gashot, his collectible item, which is called Mighty Action X. Each of the 3 riders that we saw there just a second ago have a Gashot, which is basically like a cartridge of a video game that they play. Mighty Action X belongs to Ex-Aid. Brave has... I had a picture of it here a second ago, but his is an RPG style.
Mm-hmm.
And then Snipe, which is the one with the green bang over his face, because you get it, bang, gun, shooting, haha, visual pun. His game is literally called Bang Bang Shooting.
The worst title ever. Apparently there's a CEO of a video game company involved somewhere. He must be the dude that makes the game stuff. Right. That makes sense, I guess, because we did that.
Yeah, we did kind of do that.
Yeah. And so, yeah, that's what it's really loud, obnoxious doctor clothing. It's the worst scrubs ever.
But yes, people will get infected with this virus, and it'll be up to Emu to transform into Kamen Rider Ex-Aid to cure them. He will transform into his level 1 form, which is this SD-looking white form.
This big doofy thing that when they unveiled him on a variety show a few weeks back, and he ran around and he fell over on his face. It's so funny and cute, get it, it's adorable.
And then once he's done curing the person who's been infected by the virus, he will then transform into his level 2, more recognizable form to actually fight the monster and actually use his gaming motif. Here you can see, kind of over my shoulder there, he will have status effects on certain things, like it'll say hit or points, he'll have a life bar, there is a life bar clearly on his chest, and it seems that they're going to be playing up more of the game aspect here in the series, which makes me wonder why they even stuck in the doctor thing at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, you don't need to do that, that's really okay.
Oh, and there's Popo Piper... Peter Piper picked a pack of what the hell, yeah, her. So that's the thing about it. She starts off as a normal nurse, but I guess she moonlights as somebody who runs a maid cafe. I don't even know. Like, I don't know where that's coming from.
They're not even remotely related to one another. I mean, really, doctors and games aren't really related to one another either, but I guess there might be...
Unless you're playing Trauma Center?
I guess there might be a surgeon out there who's like, you know, when I get free time, when I'm not working 90 hours a week, I like to play video games. I'm sure that person exists out there somewhere.
Yes.
Usually doctors don't do that, though. I find that they don't...
They don't have that kind of time.
Yeah, they don't have that kind of time. Somehow he finds that kind of time.
So that's kind of the thing that some people have been commenting on. I can't wait for the series to start so that the people who are in medical school and are fans of Tokusatsu can watch this and point out all of the inaccuracies. Because, yes.
Now, as I kind of said a few weeks ago, too, there's a lot of people saying, nah, this is my exit from Kamen Rider. If I'm to be honest, I don't really blame them, because I feel like had we not been involved with Farewell Fami Kamen Rider, I would not give this the time of day. This does not look like it's going to be especially good. I see elements of what could be a good thing in there. Mm-hmm. However, I'm not convinced that this is going to be great because I really feel like Toei needs to stop cramming a bunch of different things that have nothing to do with one another together.
Well, this brings back the old argument that some people have had, where there was the fairly clear Heisei Showa split where for several years Kamen Rider was off the air, and people have been calling for this for years that, hey, guys, maybe it's time to give it a rest.
Yeah.
Because it's getting less and less like it was. Like, it's so taken over by the toyeticness of everything that really it doesn't look recognizable as a Kamen Rider series. And I understand that complaint as well. Mm-hmm. Much the same, more so than I could maybe say even 5 years ago. I can see the series for what it is. Like, it's still trying to be fun. It's still aimed at its core audience of, 5 to 10-year-old boys.
Younger than that, 3-year-old boys.
Well, with these colors, absolutely. Like, these guys look like they jumped out of Nickelodeon circa 1993.
You saw the kids that hang out at those stage shows. It's for 3-year-olds.
And 31-year-old men from America.
You were 30 at the time.
I'll be 31 again, and I'll go again. I want to go again.
We don't have the money to go this year.
I have to rob a bank.
Okay.
We're gonna rob a bank.
All right. Well, you tell me how we're gonna do that, and that. You want to go see a stage show for this? You want to see an Egg's stage show?
Well, yeah, because I still have yet to see a Rider stage show in person. I've seen a Super Sentai stage show in person, which is very well done. But, I still have yet to see this. But yes, as some people are mentioning here in the chat, on the last episode of Kamen Rider Ghost, Kamen Rider Ex-Aid will be making a cameo appearance.
Yes.
So we'll be able to see him before he airs in that last episode, airing at the end of the month. And then, of course, his series will start the subsequent following Sunday on October 2nd. So be on the lookout for that. Currently on some websites right now, the Gamer Driver, his transformation device, is up for pre-sale. I should probably put in for mine very soon to make sure I get on that because, as I've advised before, when you're going to get in on a belt, get in at the very beginning or be prepared to wait until the very end because that steep climb is built in because of when they air the show. They make sure it premieres in mid to late fall. That way it's the hot Christmas item.
Yeah.
So definitely get it now while the price is fairly reasonable. Otherwise wait for resale.
Right.
But yes, we've got this coming up. I'm gonna say I'm looking forward to it. I want to see how they blend it, whether they succeed, whether they fail, but I'm in it for the long haul as far as this franchise is concerned.
Yeah, I know. Same with me and Final Fantasy, even when I'm not really sure it's gonna work out, but okay.
It's alright. I know your pain.
Yeah, I know you do. Okay, I guess we better call it there. Yes. Alright.
What are we gonna call it?
We're gonna call it the end of the episode.
Okay.
Okay, it's the end of the episode.
Okay, end of the episode.
Alright, however, for those of you who are here with us live right now on Twitch, don't go anywhere. We're gonna stick around and talk with you guys and do Q&A stuff with you for the next half an hour. But if you're not here with us live, I really wish you would be. Come on down to twitch.tv/MarsGirl on Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Central. Do this every week, except for last week when we weren't here, but we're totally here now.
Yeah, we're here. We're not planning on going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, so get on over here and you can chat it up with everybody over here who's been very happy and very talkative and been giving all kinds of really cool commentary.
Yeah, you can talk to us too and our friend tonight, Godzilla. Let's bring him back out here for a second.
Oh my god, no, why?
And he'll be sitting in with us tonight. But during the week, you can always talk to us over on social media. I'm at Josh Knight First.
I'm at Mars Girl, I guess.
Leaving off the I guess. And from all of us here at the show, that's been tonight's episode of Beyond the Black Rims. We'll see you guys again next week.
Bye. Stop it.